All right, hey folks, good Tuesday afternoon to you, or Tuesday evening at this point here. After a cloudy day, we have some sun returning on your Wednesday. After that, all eyes is going to shift towards our Thursday, Friday storm. We're still on track for some snow, maybe some sleet on Thursday. And then Friday, we'll have to watch for some freezing rain. Friday's a little bit in question still. The exact track of our low pressure system is going to determine what type of precipitation we see. But we could see some freezing rain. I think back through the hills and mountains there, we're going to stay mostly, if not all, snow. And there probably will be some spots around a foot of snow in the mountains. And I'll tell you, they really could use it. This is going to be good. You know, we have school vacation coming up that's coming up in a few weeks, I think. Yeah, a week and a half from now. So got to get some skiing and snowboarding in. And yeah, it's all going to be good all around, I think, getting some more snow back down on the ground, at least in the ski resorts. A lot of folks at home saying, Charlie, I don't want any more snow. But yeah, and it felt like spring, tied for the fourth warmest January on record, and now we're talking about more wintry weather. So it's only February. You know, it's going to turn around at some point here. All right, thanks for joining us on Facebook Live this evening. I'm going to try to pop one of these on every night this week as we lead into our weather event that kicks in on Thursday. I think the snow arrives probably 5 a.m. to about 8 a.m. First flakes for a lot of towns on Thursday. So let's enjoy tomorrow first. Let's break down the storm, late week storm, Thursday, Friday setup here. We're looking at some snow to possibly some sleet over southern parts of Maine. The time frame for that will be Thursday. Freezing rain may become an issue for parts of the area on Friday, and it's probably mostly, if not all, snow back through the hills and mountains. So I am excited to get some snow on the ground for skiers and snowboarders, snowmobilers. It gets cold after that, so ice fishermen, I think you'll be happy with the extended forecast as well here. So it's been an interesting winter so far, at least in that category. Hey, let's take a look at our satellite radar. At first glance here, you see, okay, we might have some of this precip coming in, and that's not the case. This burst you see right here is going to be scooting off right behind my head right there. That one is moving out into the ocean. So first round is going to miss us entirely, but you can clearly make out that there is a boundary right in here. This boundary between some warm air down in here, some cold air off to the north, and Mother Nature's going to have some fun along that boundary here. So we're going to be watching these little areas of low pressure developing and kind of tracking along that front. And the most significant will be this one that's just starting to get going down to the south. That one's going to track in a fashion something like that and pass probably just off to our east. Well, that's important on Friday, because if it tracks a little bit farther out into the east, we could be talking about more of a snow event on Friday. But right now, I think freezing rain is going to play a role in our forecast on Friday. All right, let's take it one day at a time here for a minute. Initially on Thursday, this is 1 o'clock in the afternoon, we're probably looking at mostly snow, maybe a little bit of sleet over southern zones. But this is the front end of our storm, and typically some warmer air tries to come in a situation like this aloft, and that brings in some snowfall. It's cold enough at the ground level, and it's going to produce a snowfall on Thursday. So Thursday looks to be 2 to 4, 2 to 5 inches of snow. Where we get a little bit of sleet, that might hold us down a little bit. Southern York County, southern parts of New Hampshire. Yeah, could be some sleet mixing in. That's probably one of the only real questions on Thursday. But I plan on some of that snow arriving between 5 a.m. and 8 a.m. So just in time for the morning commute. I think that's our first round of snow. And things get a little more interesting Thursday night into Friday. Now, there probably will be a defined lull Thursday night where we're looking at just light mixed precipitation. There might be a period where it's not doing anything at all. And then as we go into Friday, again, this area of low pressure, the track of this one is going to determine what type of precip we get, because it looks as if some warmer air is going to work in at about a few thousand feet in elevation. So snowflakes could be melting, becoming raindrops, and then refreezing at the ground level. We call that freezing rain. That leads to icing. There's some reliable forecast model guidance suggesting that the coastal plain could see primarily freezing rain on Friday. Those of you back through the hills and mountains, I think probably mostly snow still in this region. Now, you get this area of low pressure to track a little bit farther out into the ocean, maybe off of Cape Cod or something like that. That's getting ugly here. Let's get rid of those lines. We could be talking about more snow, and even along the coast. So that is something I will be watching for very closely for a trend, and I'll show you why in just a second here. I want to show you some forecast model trends over the last 12 hours that have been kind of interesting. Even areas that get some freezing rain on Friday will probably end as some snow late Friday night. But Saturday should be brighter, should be a nice looking day. Saturday gets colder though. Lows will be dipping below 0 for some towns, especially Saturday night. And Saturday is our first post 5 p.m. sunset of the year. So we're looking forward to that as well. We're getting to that part of the year. Here's a closer inspection of what we just went through here. Here's Storm Tracker taking us into, tomorrow should be nice out there. Tomorrow's the nicest day of the week. Let's move my head out of the way. I think we'll see a lot of sun. Actually, Monday was probably the nicest day of the week, but tomorrow is the nicest day of the week going forward. How's that sound? Sunny skies, seasonable temperatures should be nice. That snow gets going between 5 a.m. and 8 a.m. for most areas. That is 8 o'clock in the morning. That blue is snow, and that's our next weather-warned day for slippery travel. Temperatures will be in the 20s, certainly cold enough for snow. Now, this will be something to watch here. During the afternoon, this is about 2:30 in the afternoon. Now, this model is trying to hint at some sleet trying to get up into coastal areas. I wouldn't be shocked to see this somewhere in here, maybe all the way up into northern York County, up to maybe Sebago Lake region. We'll have to see where that sleet makes it, but we're probably looking at 2 to 4, 2 to 5 inches of snow anyway, just on Thursday. Then there's that lull for Thursday night, and then Friday. This is that setup I was outlining for you. Again, it's warmer aloft, and then at the ground level, we're probably around freezing, if not slightly below freezing. So we'll have to watch for this area right in here that basically runs from the coastal portions of Maine, maybe almost back to Route 2, maybe not quite that far north and west, but freezing rain areas in pink. That could lead to some icing. Slippery travel is certainly could become an issue with that setup. The good news, I guess, is we're gonna get them some snow first. Usually, if you just get freezing rain off the top, that leads to more icing. But if you get the snow and then the freezing rain on top of that, you get sort of a crust on top of that, and then it's not quite as slippery, especially in the the areas that are not completely cleaned up. So we'll have to see how that pans out. But skiers and snowboarders, you're going to like this. You go up towards northern areas in the White Mountains, north of Route 2 in the western mountains of Maine. There's a very good chance you're going to stay mostly, if not all, snow with this setup here. And that's about 10 o'clock in the morning on Friday. So I want to talk a little bit about snowfall amounts here. This is just Thursday alone. So we're looking at just one day of this 2-day event. Our first weather warning day kicks in on Thursday. So I think most of the area gets 2 to 4 or 2 to 5 inches of snow. There'll be some spots that might get 5 up in the mountains, but closer to the coastline, you might get a little bit less due to some sleet, especially down in this region here, about 1 to 3, maybe coastal York County, southern parts of New Hampshire. Mid-coast Maine may get into that 2 to 5 range. We'll have to see how that pans out, but right now I think Thursday, light accumulations, nothing we can't handle here, and overall we're just going to turn everything white again. Things get a lot more interesting as we go into our Friday here. So you add in some of the snowfall on Friday. Again, this is just Thursday. Let's go to Friday now. We're not going to see much additional accumulation along the coastal plain. At least I don't think we will. Might get a little bit of snow in the back end, but this area might end up being primarily freezing rain on Friday. So the 1 to 3, 2 to 5 is probably going to stick in that area. Even areas that get 4 or 5 inches of snow, you might get that rain on top of it, compact it a little bit, and then you might get another inch or 2 on top of that on Friday. But Friday's big snow event is going to be in this area, I think. You go up towards Route 2 points north, the western mountains of Maine, portions of the White Mountains of New Hampshire. There probably will be some spots up in here that get 8 to 12 inches of snow. And we can't stress this enough. Skiers, snowboarders heading to school vacation week, another week and a half. It would be good to get some more snow on the ground for that here. All right. Ooh, before I get into the 7-day forecast, I want to show you this real quickly here. This is just one forecast model, and what we're doing is we're looking at the probability of snowfall over 6 inches. And the latest model run, this is the European model, takes all its 50 members, and it's going to take us to about 50 to 60% now of getting over 6 inches of snow at the coastline, which is a change from the previous run. Notice in the mountains, you're about 80 to 90% chance of getting over 6 inches of snow. Here's the previous run. Notice how we're only at about 30 to 40% along the coastal plain for a chance of getting over 6 inches of snow. But here's the new run, old run, new run, old run, new run. The reason I bring that up to you is the trend, at least over the last 6 hours, 6 to 12 hours, has been slightly colder. And that's something I want to watch for here, because if get this low to trek a little bit farther out into the ocean, yeah, that 4 to 8 inches, that's going to work its way all the way down to the coast. That 8 to 12 could work its way all the way to the coast if it tracks right. I don't think that's going to be the case. We'll have to see how that pans out. So an early stab at numbers, early thought numbers here. I think that's how this one is going to work out around here. 7-day forecast now. Let's take a look at the sunshine tomorrow. First weather warn day kicks in on Thursday. Second one on Friday. First one for snow to sleet. Second one for freezing rain. I don't think we're going to see much plain rain. I think it's more freezing rain on Friday. On Saturday, the sun returns. And then as we go into inland areas, not much of a change there. If anything, you're a little bit colder over the weekend. But snow to sleet on Thursday. And a lot of inland towns will probably stay all snow on Thursday. Freezing rain is probably going to be the one to watch as we go into our Friday here. So that seems to be the trend this winter so far. It's always a 2 or 3 day snowstorm, or a 2 to 3 day storm. And this one is going to be no exception here. When you get precipitation falling, different types of precip, freezing, frozen precip, and it's 48 hours long, it's almost something bound to go wrong here. So the reason I bring that up is I'd urge folks to stay tuned to the forecast, because it's nice to get those little 8-hour windows when it comes, and you might get like quick 6 inches of snow. Those are easy to forecast. But different types of precipitation over long durations, those are the ones to stay tuned for. Those are the ones that's going to keep us as meteorologists on our toes here. That's exactly what we have heading our way late week. At least it's interesting. At least there's something happening in the forecast here. All right, so I'm starting to see some of your comments here. Joyce says, what time Thursday? Snow gets going 5 a.m. to 8 a.m., Joyce. I hope that helps you out here. What time do you think the schools? Yeah, school's going to have to make a tough call, I think, on Thursday and Friday. I bet they call a lot, maybe send some home on Thursday. Let's see here. Bonnie says, bring it on. All right, I'm with you. I'm ready for some snow. I like Thursday, Friday storms, too. I like it better than the weekend storms. Cindy says, I want an early spring. She's not the only one, I think, on this reading this right now. But I'd prefer to, it's February, might as well snow. It's kind of ugly out there right now. Thanks, Mark, appreciate it. Snow day, Catherine says, there's a decent chance we get a snow day in here. Hope says, how much snow? I hope you saw my snowfall map just a second ago. Let's see here. All right. I think hopefully I answered a lot of your questions here. But thanks for tuning in to Facebook Live tonight, guys. We'll do another one tomorrow night. All right, take care.